guy, he wants to give people a voice, whereas like obviously with Matt talking about the benefits of Christian love, obviously you'd be like, oh, so this dude's probably a Christian. Whereas if he was writing about, the negatives of Christianity and Christian love or something, you'd be like, oh, this dude probably not a Christian. So like, I don't think my values are directly related to the project. They are obviously, but they're not like,
They're not obvious to somebody.
they're not like, that wall is white.
Well, but the reality is that his is also obvious about his academic values that are associated with that. He values information, and he values the creation of knowledge. He may not have recognized it, he may not have put it above it, but the creation of knowledge is very much a function of what you care about. So that may be part of that self-awareness piece of the diagram that you hadn't completely noticed, but that's in every time we've ever talked. And obviously in academics, that's what we had in common. You bring that out. But for you, I'll tell you, the choice that you made about giving voice, that does overtly say to anybody who's paying attention. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to write it, but it's about equality of access.
I'm just saying if I gave my vision to some like Joe on the street, I highly doubt that they'll be like, oh, this dude values education.
Well, well, first of all, because you're doing it in an academic setting,
Right.
That is obvious. So I disagree with you on that.
But I'm just saying my other values, I just think it's like.
But your value of inclusiveness is there too.
Right.
And I think that you don't recognize it, maybe.
No, I think I do recognize it.
No, you don't recognize what I'm about to say. You don't recognize that it's present in a way that Joe Idiot could see it. But I would suggest that Joe Idiot, who sees it, if they are interested in their voice being included, that vision brings them to you. If they don't even recognize what you're doing, which is the entire point of what inspiring a shared vision is. Your actions, even if you're not aware of how they're impacting others, are speaking messages. And that's why you need to know it so that everything you're doing reflects it. There needs to be more intentionality as you go. This is a higher order way of talking about everything that was in the 350 book, but it's the how you use it. So while I hear you may not believe it, that will be one of those things in the self-actualized piece when you're writing your belief about this, you can decide, I don't agree with that. But what I am sharing with you is I want you to test it, because that's what the 350 content is about. I've seen it to be true, and I see it in your work.
Right.
And I've seen it work in your work. That's why you have the people who came to you and are still staying with you in this conversation, because they agreed with that. And it wasn't just that they wanted to have a say, it's that they agreed the students needed a voice, and it was about inclusion. And that goes back to your values. But no, I don't think you need to say, because I believe in inclusion, I'm saying, how does it reflect it? Where is it in that? Yours is the one. You think yours is hard to see. Yours is the one that I personally struggle finding. And I was not comfortable with. But as we kept talking about what your purpose was, that's when I got to go, okay, I see this. And it was actually just 2 weeks ago when you made the statement overtly, I'm going to have to know how to do it, and it's not something I'm good at. So remember, while I said this is about you practicing your own because this is your own space, this assignment and me telling you to put this out there, when I gave you this assignment, I said it has to forward your vision, values, and mission as a leader. I said that. And then however you think is necessary for that to make a difference. So to meet what my goals for this project were, you had to be able to say this. This doesn't mean that in the future you do it, but I'll be very frank with you. I strongly encourage you that when you're writing your vision, that whatever you do to meet your boss's expectation, you write it so that you can still see yourself in it. That's why I want you to do this, so you can see that you know the skill to do it. And it's more effective for LKS students than it is for non-LKS students, because you at least got to choose, so you at least care about what you did, so that on some levels it has to reflect something you wanted. LKS don't know how to do that, because they were given a project. What they cared about was joining the university and doing something that helped the university with the community and helped Knoxville. I'm pushing them, that's probably not in their va-va-vooms. It's what they care about, but it's not in their va-va-vooms probably. So either you want to stay in Knoxville and contribute to a community, or you're learning how to contribute to a community elsewhere, and it needs to be in your va-va-voom. So some people will be going back and amending your above a moon based on this. Some will. Some will just go back and amend your vision, values, mission statement, your vision statement, so that you can make it obvious. And when you're engaging with people about your project, you need to be able to know how to make sure that you're communicating those other things. And one of the context issues is your va-va-voom as it applies to this project. Because that brings in the authentic self. That's the key when you're developing this. Now the flip side is this mission statement, okay? You all have looked at each other's stuff. We're going to do this a little bit differently. I need you to give your mission statement, your elevator speech to them about your project.
Can I read mine? Or
Nope.
Say it.
Nope. This is your elevator speech
Yeah.
about your project, okay?
All right.
Just get ready to do it, and I'm going to need you to do the same, and I'm going to need you to do the same, okay? You each have read everybody else's mission now. So what I'm needing you to do is when they tell you about it, is it consistent, congruent, and is the way they said it better than the way they wrote it, or the other way around? Okay, so take a moment before we go. First of all, take a moment to think about your elevator speech about your project. Elevator speech means I'm going to take you, it's a minute. In a minute, you're going to stop. So you're verbally going to say it.
Oh, 1 minute elevator speech?
It's a video along.
At the most.
95.
That's what I'm saying, I'm going to cut you off. If it's shorter than that, all the better. But 1 minute, that's what you got. Max. Okay, so you got your elevator speech? Figured out? Matt's going first. Is that Matt's right there? Two of y'all take a look, make sure you've read the mission statement. Ready, Matt? Go.
All right. So the question that I am seeking to find out as I do my project is to, I guess, study the usefulness of pastoral leadership in the civil rights movement, using a framework of the social change model of leadership development, which was made for college contexts. I'm going to analyze primary sources and secondary sources. You look at Ralph Abernathy as a leader and see if he was able to successfully, I guess, lead people in a similar style and in a similar framework as the social change model of leadership development. So were people able to grow as leaders under his leadership, personally, socially, in the community, and then how is that, because it's in a Christian context, is it applicable today?
Okay. What he wrote? Anything that is not, so what's your word and speech the same? Now, big question. Did he state the problem? Why does that? Why is that a problem that he's trying to fix?
I think I was like to see if the pastoral leadership kind of can still work in today's society. Because that's what I was like, well, would that like help me understand it?
Leading with that would help you with this conversation, to keep people listening. Because they had to listen because I was telling them they had to for a minute. Leading with that statement of the problem helps. How about you? Was there anything else that was a problem that you thought he was trying to fix? I'm not saying there is, I'm just asking.
No, man, she was a good elevator pitch.
And could you tell what his proposed solution was?
I mean, it was a little murky,
It's murky. It's there. You know, you're writing the paper. The statement of the problem is, can pastors do this using this model? You know, they need to do it for these reasons. That's what's missing. See, but that's the why. That's what's missing. Why does that matter even if they don't? So you need to be able to do that. Then the proposed solution is doing a study to test that.
All right.
See what I mean? And it doesn't have to be much more than that for this. It can be that for us. So, how about you? You ready? Take a look for a moment. Everybody take a look at Seth's piece.
Okay.
You ready? Go.
I'm Seth Ismari, senior in economics and international business, minor in leadership studies. The statement of the problem with my project is that the University of Tennessee has not created an academic community dealing with experiential learning. So leadership studies minor or community seeks to fill that void and to help the community prosper. I propose that there's a leadership studies advisory board that facilitates growth in, can't remember the other word, but growth in something to help benefit students
Okay,
through workshops and speakers.
and you're still under your time, good job. Now, congruent with what he wrote? Did it state the problem?